Goldberg Live is brought to you by hiretradies.com.au. Get 3 free quotes from local tradies near you. Live and on relay stations throughout the world, you're watching Bruce Goldberg Live with special guests tonight. We haven't announced them yet, but anyway, this is live and we're doing it right now. So give a nice big round of applause for Bruce Goldberg. Nurse. Hey, welcome to it. Yes, it's Goldberg Live here on a Thursday night in real stereo, coming to you live from Goldberg Manor where the sun never sets. Brought to you by our new sponsor. Here it is. hiretradies.com.au. You get 3 free quotes from tradies near you, and we welcome them along on board. I actually use their service during the week. I booked last week, and I used their service for free, and I got quotes, and I got a plumber out to see me on Monday, and he fixed up some stuff here in Goldberg Manor, so it was great. So I can tell you personally, first-handedly, it's great. It's a good service. Well done, and welcome on board to hiretradies.com.au. Anyway, if you just joined us, welcome to it. It's a Thursday night in good old eastern suburbs of Sydney where the sun never sets, but helicopters land in parks. Now, I just came back from Watson's Bay to have a look at the Black Hawk, and they've got tarps on the nose of it, obviously hiding something there, top secret stuff, which we're not allowed to see. But they were getting trestle tables out, and they're putting trestle tables around, I think, or out the front of the helicopter or whatever. Maybe they're turning this into a PA exercise and trying to recruit people into the army, which would be a smart idea. They could turn this into a really good PA exercise. They really could. I mean, how often do you see a Black Hawk helicopter landing in the middle of a park, especially at Watson's Bay, right? So they could turn this into a good little exercise, a good PA thing. But the real reason why it's there is because it had an emergency landing after it did a drill, and it hit the top of a Captain Cook cruise boat on the mast there, and it hit the propeller hit, and it had to land somewhere quick smart because pieces of the rotor had come off. So it was in a near catastrophe. So they had to land very quickly and being in Watson's Bay Park. So there you go. But no one was hurt, luckily enough. Thank God for that. Touch wood. And everyone was happy, and it landed, and now they're trying to get the damn thing out with a crane. I don't know when that crane's going to arrive, but this is the army we're talking about here, right? They should have had that thing out yesterday. But anyway, it's still there tonight, and it will be guarded overnight again. They've got guards around it all the time anyway. I mean, it's the army after all, right? But it's interesting to see, though. I didn't actually stop the car. I just pulled up and had a look just near Dunbar House there. And up the side of Dunbar House, there's a little road there. And you come out at the ice cream place, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know the name of the street. But yeah, you get a good shot of it because it's on that side of the park. And then I went around towards the hotel and had a good look as well. It's very interesting. I'm into all that sort of stuff. So there you go. Something to do. If you've got nothing to do tomorrow, do that. Go and have a look at the Black Hawk. Not often you get nice up and close of a Black Hawk, and that's why they got the tarps up so you don't see the secret stuff that's in there and the little tricks of the trade that they might have exposed to the public. So you got to respect that, of course. So that's what's going on there. Any other news in the eastern suburbs, you just type it in the box below. If you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Ustream, Realstream, all the big streaming companies we're going out through live. You can watch us on Goldberg Live Facebook page, the eastern suburbs group, which most of you are probably watching us on. Well, not all of you, but a lot of you are. YouTube, our YouTube channel. We've got a Ustream channel. We've got all these different channels so you can watch us. Anyway, if there's anything else on your mind, you just let us know. We haven't done a Thursday edition for quite a while. I thought I'd just do a Thursday edition because there's a few things going on around town. How about Facebook? Facebook blocking news coverage. Why are they doing that? I mean, you know who the biggest losers are in all this, and I'll tell you who it is. It's us and the newspapers. The newspapers may think, oh, Facebook's got to pay for the content, but they're already doing you guys a favor and sending you traffic because you click on a link that I might paste up on a group or Mary Smith might on some other group, and everyone clicks on it to read it, and they get taken over to the News Limited or Daily Mail or whatever the newspaper is. So they're not going to get traffic. They're not going to get traffic to those news websites as much as they were getting. And then the advertisers will drop off those news sites. It's just common sense. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to work it out, really. Well, you can't put brains in statues, as they say, but, you know, it's greed. It's all about greed. And, you know, the government's siding with Murdoch and Co. to make them pay for content, which we're the first in the world. The whole world's watching this, seeing what happens, how it turns out. At the moment, there's no winner. Everyone's a loser. We're losers. The newspapers are losers. I'll give you an example, right? This is what I'm saying, how they're going to lose on traffic. If I go once a day to a news site, let's say I go to the Daily Mail, okay, and I see something about Melissa Caddick, which is not unusual. I mean, it's there every 5 minutes, right? And I cut and paste that link on Facebook, then you guys reading it who are interested in the Melissa Caddick story will click on the link and get taken to Daily Mail. But then what happens if there's an updated story which is relevant to the area, like there's a fire over in Bondi or something like that, and somebody sees that and then cuts and pastes that news story? Well, then you go back again to the Daily Mail or to the News Limited one or whatever, which you wouldn't have gone back to because you only read the newspaper once a day or twice at the most. So with all these extra links that people are posting, these newspaper websites are getting heaps of traffic, heaps. You watch all their traffic drop now. It'll be down to basically nothing compared to what it was with Facebook linking to them. So I don't see the sense in it. It's crazy. I don't agree that Facebook should pay for it at all. I don't think they should pay for anything at all. If people want to cut and paste news articles, which they can do on their own website or they could do before on Facebook until midnight last night, you know, that's just the way it is. But when you restrict people to be able to post news articles on Facebook, then we're all losers. And the biggest loser of them all are the newspapers for not getting the traffic. I mean, it's hard enough now for them to sell newspapers, the physical versions of the newspapers. So you think they'd try anything to get website traffic. And this is actually cutting their nose to spite their face, because if they get Facebook to pay for content, that will be nowhere near as much as what they'll get from advertisers. It won't be. There's only so much content you can pay for. And then these Facebook places will start looking for content from other places, or they might start up their own news service, Facebook news service. And there's an idea. They've got the money to do it. Zuckerberg and co. have definitely got the money to do it. So the biggest loser, again, not only we're losers, but the newspapers are the losers for getting no traffic, not as much traffic. Their traffic is going to go, pew, or it's already gone, pew, already. I can guarantee you that. Guarantee it, 110% guaranteed. But what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear what you guys have got to say on this whole saga with Facebook. I mean, it just happened so suddenly. And I tried to cut and paste an article today just to test it out, and it wouldn't let me do it. But you can screenshot. Someone brought that up. And you can I suppose, retype stuff out. But then there's copyright legalities and everything. I don't know. It's one big mess at the moment. Hasn't been thought through properly, this, by anyone, the government or by Facebook. Facebook should do a deal with the newspapers and say, we're sending you all this traffic for free traffic to your newspapers, which are basically the thing of the past. People read online stuff now. I mean, Daily Mail's not a physical newspaper. It's free. It's totally free. So they make their money from advertisers on their website, and the amount of traffic is what they sell those ads for. If their traffic drops, then their real estate where you advertise isn't going to be as much. And speaking of real estate, realestate.com.au, you can't do it anymore because that's part of the newspaper. Domain, it's the same thing. So you can't even see properties for sale because they're all part of newspapers. It's insane. There's no winner in this. Everyone is a loser, and the government has screwed it up. They shouldn't have done what they did. They shouldn't have done it. There should be no pay for content. If the content's printed on the web, it's for the whole world to see. And the links do go back to the newspaper anyway to read the damn thing. So they're getting traffic. It's just a bit of common sense. Obviously, no sense when it comes to what traffic is worth. Traffic is worth everything to a website. Without traffic, you got no website, really. You might as well shut up and go home. Shut the doors and just pack up and go home. And in this day and age, who honestly buys a physical newspaper? Very far and few between. Not like it used to be. You know, the Sydney Morning Herald's very thin. Very thin. Remember when it used to be huge? It used to be this massive big paper. You used to have to get all these different sections out of it. It's all gone. Those days are gone. They've got to move with the times here. And traffic is worth everything, is worth every cent. And Facebook should turn around to these newspapers and say, we're going to charge you now for every time someone clicks on a link from Facebook to a newspaper, we're going to charge you. And that's what they should have been doing, which they never did. They did it for free. They did it for free. And when you do click on one of those links, you can see the Facebook click ID. So they're keeping track of what's been going on in the sense of traffic getting sent from Facebook to the newspapers. So it might be a little bit confusing what I'm saying to some people, but trust me, it's the newspapers that lose out more than Facebook. Facebook doesn't lose anything, really. It's the newspapers and us, the public, and groups like this. When something and big news story breaks, I suppose you can just say go over to XYZ newspaper and read about, you know, the next fire in the area or Melissa Caddick or whatever, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same. Anyway, let's hear what you have to say. Mark says, Bruce, the government screwed it up. You're surprised? I'm not really that surprised, but, you know, it wasn't thought through properly. It was not thought through, and it makes you wonder who's running the government, right? Can you believe yesterday again they were gardening in the middle of Campbell Parade blocking the traffic? Oh, don't they learn the first time about that down at Campbell Parade with those new palm trees, whatever you want to call them? They just don't get it, do they? Obviously doing it to block traffic. Well, I mean, is this being done deliberately now at this time of the day? Nurse. Or is it just bad timing? Sally Betts, look, the councillors that are members of this board, and there's quite a few of them from Waverley, have to step in and say, don't do it during peak time. Do it during the day when everyone's at work and it's quiet. You know, that's the most logical thing to do. Most logical thing to do. Some things you've got to do it before peak hour, like garbage collection, so it doesn't block up the roads. And they do that at 5 o'clock in the morning. But when it comes to doing palm trees, where the roots are going to attack the road underneath, then, you know, crazy, absolutely crazy. We mentioned this on Sunday night's show, and we had Sally Betts typing away to me here, and I don't know. Anyway, anything else on your minds, people? Just write it in the box below. let us know what's on your mind. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or Goldberg Live group or wherever you're watching this, just type it in and have your say. We're going to take a quick break and come back with lots more to talk about right after this. Goldberg Live is brought to you by hiretraders.com.au. Get 3 free quotes from local tradies near you.
Hi, I'm Simon from Simon Food Favorites, and you're watching Goldberg Live. Bruce, was that okay? Are you paying me enough money to say that? Okay, cool. See you later. Bye.
Need to sell your property? Get a free market appraisal with Daniel Barron of LJ Hooker Double Bay, the sales expert of the East. Call Daniel on 0418 243 093. That's 0418 243 093. Goldberg Live is brought to you by hiretraders.com.au. Get 3 free quotes from local tradies near you. Welcome back to Goldberg Live. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It helps, We've got the producers here, by the way, from Madways Productions, just over here as usual tonight, our 2 producers. It does help, guys, when I've got the microphone turned on, right? I imagine talking to it's bad enough as it is, I talk to myself, right? Yeah. Yeah, all right, shut up, idiots. The guys from Madways, I tell you, where would you be without them at Madways? Nurse. Anyway, welcome back. We've got lots to talk about today, or tonight, I should say. I had a look at the Sushi Train premises, because I had a meeting very close to where Sushi Train is going to be opening. And it's a vacant. It's nowhere near even complete. It's the floor. You saw the photos, I suppose. It's still sand everywhere. It's just nothing's been done by the looks of it, except they've cleared everything out, but nothing's been put in. So they're probably just doing all the wiring and everything now, and putting in the new floors and all that sort of stuff. So we're a long way from Sushi Train, I can tell you that now, with what I saw yesterday and the photo I took. I actually I had a meeting yesterday, and I went to the Royal Bakery, which is just next door. I've never been to the Royal Bakery before. No, it's true. I've never been to the Royal Bakery before. It's the first time I've ever been there. There's a few shops I've never been to before. That was one of them. And I tried one of their tarts. Yeah, we could go places with that, but I won't. The edible... Oh, hang on. No, we still could go. Okay. Those little tarts they're famous for, the ones that you buy for a couple of bucks. Oh, hang on. I'm getting stuck here on all these little... innuendos. Oh, anyway, look, I tried one of their famous tarts. It was fantastic. It was really, really good. Now I see what everyone's going on about. It's very good there, Royal Bakery. So there you go. First time ever. It took me ages to get there, but I had a meeting there, so I had no choice than to go there to give it a go. So, hi to the guys who are probably not watching from Royal Bakery, so they didn't know I was going to do this. But there you go. It was good to try somewhere different for a change. Anyway, let's see what else people are saying here. Jodine says the government is doing Murdoch's bidding. Yeah, they are. They are. For the... just scrolled down there for the something or other. I didn't see that because it scrolled down too quickly. But anyway, yeah, it's all about standing up for the newspaper owners. I mean, it's totally insane, because now the owners are going to realize they've lost all their traffic from Facebook. There's no more links going from Facebook to their newspapers. Duh. That's how you're making money online, selling to advertisers online with X amount of traffic that you get a day. And one of your biggest providers of traffic was Facebook. Oh my God, it's like lunatics running a mental asylum. It really is. Nurse. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. If you have anything you want to say, folks, you can't put brains in statues. You can't. Type it in the box below and have your say. We'd love to hear from you. There's plenty to talk about around town. There's not much about Melissa Caddick, so we won't mention her. We won't say too much about Melissa Caddick because there's nothing to say. I just think that this whole Facebook saga they'll backflip. What's going to happen? I think they'll backflip, and we'll be back to where we were. And it was just a knee-jerk reaction, really, by Facebook. And the government should just leave them alone and let them send the traffic free of charge to, or charge Murdoch and Co. with the traffic. The traffic to read about bullshit in the Australian newspaper, where they make up crap and Photoshop your photo. Yeah, what a great rep that's got, hey? Doing that. Shame I was going to ask. Sharon, what were you going to ask? Welcome to the show. What were you going to ask? Here's your chance. What were you going to ask about the Facebook issue? I haven't been notified officially by Facebook as a admin of a board, but everyone knows about it. It's been all over the news, and that's just the way it is, I suppose. There's not much more you can really say about it. I think it's all going to get resolved. They reckon that Josh Frydenberg had a chat with Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook last night or this morning, and they're on good terms, but they're just sorting it through. But, the government should just keep out of it. Seriously. It's between Facebook and the newspapers. And Facebook should say, hey, guys, if you don't want traffic anymore for free, good. We'll cut the links to your websites. And that's what they've done. So you watch what's going to happen. All those newspapers are going to be whinging that they've got no traffic now. There's no other way. I mean, people type in directly to go to news.com.au or those other ones, but some of them have got subscriptions. As you know, you need subscriptions. The only other way is through Google. But then Google's in the same sort of mess too as what Facebook's in. So they've made a big mistake. Big mistake, the newspapers. See, Facebook has nothing to lose because people still advertise on Facebook. It's the other way around. It's the newspapers that have got everything to lose with their traffic. Anyway, the genius that thought of that needs a good sacking. That's what he needs. The person at News Corp or whoever that thought of that with the government needs to go. He has no clue about how the internet works and how links generate traffic. Oh well. Big mistake, exactly. It is, Sharon. It's a big mistake, and we're all suffering because of it. All of us. You think the Daily Mail isn't suffering because of this? A tabloidy sort of newspaper isn't suffering? If something broke tomorrow, like a helicopter has landed in the middle of the lighthouse up at Vaucluse, we won't be able to cut and paste it. Because I can't. It's a dead link. It says it's not allowed to. Every time I try. Even as the admin, I can't do it. Although there was somebody doing it on our board just to show that they can do it still. So I don't know how they're doing it. Because I've tried every trick in the book. So, look, this reminds me of a boycott that took place not too long ago with all the radio stations. Not all of you will know about this, but I know everything about this. Basically, the radio stations in protest didn't want to pay these extra fees to broadcast the same show they were broadcasting over the radio as they were over the internet. So simultaneously broadcasting on the internet at the same time as on the normal radio that you pick up and listen to in your car or wherever you are. So what they did was they stopped streaming online. So you couldn't listen to any radio stations online. And this went on, and finally common sense kicked in, and we've got it all back again. You can listen to a radio station in the middle of the Sahara Desert, or in America, Kiss FM in America, LA, or the local stations here with Kiss or Today FM or WS or whoever. Or I can listen to a Perth station, 6PR or whatever in Perth. So that's the same thing that's happening here. This is exactly the same thing. It's all about money. It's a grab, and it's going to all be backflipped. I bet you it will be backflipped. There's no other way out of it. There's just no other way out of this. Seriously, and common sense will prevail eventually after some heads get kicked. But it's a massive mistake. It's a massive, massive mistake for the newspapers to come up against Facebook like that. So look, I'm not the biggest Facebook fan, believe you me. I can tell you some things which really piss me off with Facebook, but they've got the upper hand in this. They really do, and they know it. And it's not the newspapers. They're a dying breed. They are a dying breed. I mean, newspapers these days are so thin when you go to a newspaper stand, makes you wonder why they even bother printing it. Is it worth their while to even pay for the ink? And that's going to phase out over the years. In fact, it's probably just about to phase out now. So their only hope is online. And the last thing they want to do is cut traffic. That's the last thing you want to do. Anyway, you may think something different. I don't know. Let me know what you have to say. Type it in the box below and have you say whatever it may be. Could be anything. I've got people agreeing with me here from other streams that I'm reading here on our main screen. Yep. If they screw up, they will cover the costs. Don't know. Well, they've screwed up already. I mean, they've totally screwed up. They've screwed up. It's just crazy. Anyway, speaking of screwing up, here's some ladies, or a lady in this case, that doesn't screw up. It's time for the Vaucluse Daily.
How's it, Susan Wunschowski, here, the Vaucluse Daily? No, I am not Mickey Mouse. I am simply being COVID safe. It certainly is in line with our exit from the Australian Open. Obviously, we were choppered down to watch a game or two and choppered out as swiftly at 11:59, no less. Mr. Andrews, my question to you is this. Does the mask seem extreme to you? We couldn't possibly have the COVIDs get back into the Rose Garden again. You think we'd learn from the first time? Apparently not. Anyway, look, I'm off for lunch with my good friend Gladys, and let's hope you're all keeping well. Okay, see you now. But just not in Melbourne. Okay.
Goldberg Live is brought to you by hiretradies.com.au. Get 3 free quotes from local tradies near you. And welcome back to Goldberg Live. What happened there? We cut out half of the Vaucluse Daily. See, the Vaucluse Daily will keep going because they're not text. You see, they're news. But you can't even get the satire sites anymore on Facebook. You can't even get the Double Bay, what's it called, that Double Bay thing? The satire website that does all the send-ups and jokes and gags. You can't even get that. So it's a mess. It's a total mess at the moment. It will sort itself out and they'll backflip. They're going to have to. They've got no choice. Absolutely no choice. I've got a lot of people agreeing with me here on all the different feeds I'm reading here. We've been talking about helicopters landing at Watson's Bay. We're talking about all sorts of weird and wonderful things. We've got some new segments here to play for you. We've got an old guy who's dancing. We've got some people going to teach you how to dance in a hilarious way. I've got a few other little things going on too. In the meantime, if you want to have your say, just type it in the box below. We'd love to have your say. We'd love you to have your say, but by the way. You can do that right now. Type away. Let's hear what you have to say. Could be about anything at all. I was told by a source yesterday, for the second time, this same source, that Woolworths that's going to open on the corner of Albemarle and Old South Head Road will be, the Woolworths will be a big Woolies. I don't know. If it's got a car park underneath, it will be a pretty good size Woolies. It's a good size block. I think it's about 14,000 square meters. So it's going to be a very good square block of land to redevelop. So they're just waiting on the contractor from Caltex, who are based in Newcastle, to demolish that whole petrol station and dig deep and get rid of the oil tanks and all that sort of stuff and the contaminated soil. And then Woolies can start doing their stuff. But it usually takes about a year for a development to start for Woolworths. Usually takes them about a year to build it. 9 months to a year usually, because Woolworths are on the backs of the builders saying, come on, hurry up. But they've got to wait, though, for the Caltex contractor to remove all the stuff out of that site. So let's wait and see what happens there. Anyway, on a funny note, have a watch of this. This is something we played for the first time on Sunday, and we got a very good response for this. This is a guy, this is a group of people teaching you how to dance. Now, you need to look carefully at the guy in the front row in the middle. Watch him as we go further into the clip, okay? It's hilarious. This guy is hilarious. Really, really hilarious. He's not trying to be hilarious, he just is hilarious. Anyway, take a look at this, learning to dance Japanese style.
The first expression, domo, domo.
Domo, domo. Domo, domo. Domo, domo. Domo, domo.
And next we have, じゃあ、そんなわけで。
じゃあ、そんなわけで。じゃあ、そんなわけで。じゃあ、そんなわけで。じゃあ、そんなわけで。
The third expression is, 今度遊びに来てください。
今度遊びに来てください。今度遊びに来てください。今度遊びに来てください。今度遊びに来てください。
And last of all, おいおい。
おいおい。おいおい。おいおい。おいおい。
ではいつかまたどこかであなたの元気な筋肉たちとお会いしましょう。
Goldberg Live is brought to you by hiretradies.com.au. Get 3 free quotes from local tradies near you. And welcome back to Goldberg Live. Don't you just love it how they were dancing? Oh no, oh no. Oh, oi, oi. Oh boy, we came across that last week. We had a laugh, the guys here and I. In fact, some of the guys here were dancing to it. Now, come on, guys, you got to admit to it. You were dancing to it, right? Yeah. He was doing the best dance, but he need to turn up with the really short stubbies on, like that guy on the video clips got. Yeah, he'd look good in stubbies. Yeah, pink ones. Yeah, pink ones. On with the show. Nurse. This is Goldberg Live. If you've just joined us, welcome back. We're talking about all sorts of weird and wonderful things. We'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm getting all sorts of messages here. Hello, I don't know who you are, but you're saying hello to us on another stream there. I love to hear who you are and where you're from and all that sort of stuff. Anything else that's on your mind, people, just write it in the box below. There's plenty of things to talk about here. There could be anything. I mean, you might want to comment about some of our segments or what's been going on the board, on the Eastern Suburbs board, that is, on Facebook, or anything else you may want to talk about. Just type it in the box and have your say. Type it in and have your say. Anyway, I think we need to play something here. This is some. This is what happens when an old guy gets really motivated. He gets extremely motivated and he starts dancing. So take a look at this.
Es que así se bailaba, hija. Así se bailaba. Ay, no. Los pasos que él hace, así eran.
Need to sell your property? Get a free market appraisal with Daniel Barron of LJ Hooker Double Bay, the sales expert of the East. Call Daniel on 0418 243 093. That's 0418 243 093. Goldberg Live is brought to you by hiretraders.com.au. Get 3 free quotes from local tradies near you.
Because I know some horses are like that.
Okay, all right, hold on.
Hey, nice. Nope, you still did it.
Jesus.
Where you steering, honey? Good job, Linz. You got it, sweetheart. Keep going. Good. You're turning. Turn.
Charlie?
Run, Murphy.
Hey, Charlie, have an ice cream through our table, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. Nurse. Welcome back to Goldberg Live. We're doing this live on a Thursday night. It's very motivational. It is. Mitta. Welcome to you. Hello to you too. If you've got anything you want to say, do what the other guys have just done. Just type it in the box below and have your say. Could be about anything. Could be about a helicopter landing in Watson's Bay or what's been going on around here. Could be what's on your mind. Could be this Facebook thing going on with the newspapers, which, you know, the newspapers got what they deserved. They did. They shouldn't have done anything. They shouldn't have, well, the government shouldn't have stuck their nose in it to begin with. They should have kept out of it. Let the newspapers and Facebook fight it out. They should have just kept away from it all. It will sort itself out. I'm sure it will. I'm not going to lose sleep over it anyway. Anything else you want to say, folks? Just have your say. We'd love to hear from you on a Thursday night. It's getting to that time of the night where I'm about to bid you all farewell and say adios. So before I do, anything else you want to say, folks? Just type it in the box below. I'm just going to wait for you to type it in the box. Nope. Okay. Well, if you see me around, just come up and say hi. I'm not going to bite your head off, but at least I might try to. Good night. You've just been watching Goldberg Live, brought to you by hiretraders.com.au. Nurse.
This has been a Mad Ways presentation, darling.
Pico, 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 da lo, pico.